Oh, today we have built Panda Head.
Bros, broettes, I hope that didn't offend you too much. We're going to be building a panda mask today. Because of Mr. Pandaria coming out, and because there is going to be a BlizzCon 2013, and I hope I can go, and if so, you may want to build a panda mask, and you may see me and go, hey, I'm a panda, and I've seen your video. And I'll be like, that's exactly what I do if you see me in public. No one's seen me in public yet from Moving right along, we're going to show you the supply list. First off, you're going to need this. You're going to need your hot glue gun. You're going to need some glue sticks. Stress getting a good one. That's how we're going to attach the fur to it. We got the great stuff, which is a spray foam big gap filler. I say big gap because big gap filler expands bigger, and you use less spray because we're going to spray it in a cracker to spray it on top of the mask. You're going to need some of that foam, like a puzzle piece foam. All of these should have links beside, like say, the foam to get a better description. But this is the foam. As you can tell, it's the diamond tread puzzle piece type foam. We have cut into shapes of ears. It's pretty simple, right? We've got some hair, like a wig, because we want to make it more human in our panda build. So we're going to put a little mustache, and of course, well, maybe this is going to be the mustache, this is going to be the beard, and this is going to be the hair on top. Because he's Asian. He's an Asian bear. He's from Pandaria, which is not Asia. And of course, white and black faux fur, also known as Faux. F-A-U-X, if you're wanting to search it on eBay. But the faux fur is a fake fur because we don't condone the act of slaughtering poor panda animals. And of course, your bargain basement mask. You can find a mask like a white mask maybe and build off from it. Or you can go my route, which I've painted this to make it look kind of War Machine. But it is a Iron Man mask I bought at my local, it was a Dollar General, I think, a little dollar store, and it was on clearance. You've seen these. These are in Walmart too. They may run you $10. This one was like $2 or $3. It was on clearance, and I bought it and painted it. You can also get these at thrift shops. Has a little thing on the back. And as you can tell, I've already drew some stuff up. So let's get the camera in here close, and we will talk more about each one. Alright, ladies and gents, I've took this mask. As you can see, it was already red. I've taken the mask, and I have drawn a nose, some mouth areas. I'm going to take a Dremel, and I'm going to cut. So there's going to be a Dremel necessary. And we're going to cut that before we get going. Okay, now as you can see, we've used that Dremel tool I talked about earlier to cut this mouth open. It was just a little bit of a rise right here, and then two little things here. We just cut it off to make a mouth open. Now what we're going to do here is we've already drew out where our nose is going to be and a little area. Of course, under the eyes where all the black fabric is going to be is in here. You can paint all that in if you want to. What that means is we're going to build the layers of foam. We're going to lay foam on this, but then we're going to let it carve, and we're going to carve it after it rises up. Now this foam right here we're going to be talking about is the big gap filler. It's a closer view of it. It's insulating foam sealant. Now it comes in different types. It don't have to be great stuff, but you want the biggest gap filler that you can get because that foams with the least amount of material used. Foams the most. Now I will say that it's gonna be fun to spray. Don't overlap it too much like I've talked about in previous, because if you lay it on too thick like cake before you allow it to set, the inside's going to be sloppy and slimy, and it's just going to skin over the top and still be wet under the bottom. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this, we're going to get our water to mist it, because you need to mist water over the top of it, helps it seal better, and then we're going to get to it.
Now we're done. We sprayed 2 layers on that the piece. Let me show you with our hands. Look at this, it's so beautiful. Now we take, chop, 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 chop. What? Razor! We use a razor to chop on it.
Now at this point, I took the fur and I kind of laid it over the thing. I filled it out. I mean, you want to make sure, because that's the bad part. We had to cut the eyes out. As you can see me here, I'm taking a measurement of it. We got some footage of me trying to do that. Now, I didn't have a lot of product left, like white fur. I have plenty of black fur. I'm working on a budget here, so all I had was a little bit of fur in pieces. So make sure if you're going to glue them together, you glue them together in a way that makes it flow. Now I'm going to glue them all on here with the hot glue gun. Be careful, if you can, make sure not to burn yourself or put too much on the foam, or it might burn through the foam. So let's get to the gluing process and glue down all the white, and then I'll show you how to kind of overlap with black. Now at this point you see me taking the black, I'm just laying it down here on the open places where the eyes, feeling where the edge of the fur is and kind of just cutting around to get a basic shape. Now when you squirt the glue in there and then stick it down and really rub it down inside that eye socket, because the eye socket is recessed, so that way you see it's down in there. It's not just going to lay on top, it's going to have some overlapping part down in there. You see me pushing the fur down in there just to see if it'll fit like that. And what you need to do there, like I'm just laying the glue down, and I'm sticking it on there and pushing it all the way down. I left a good inch, 2 inches of fabric on the outside around the outside edges, and then what I'm going to do is after it's nice and dry and stuck down there, I'm going to take my scissors, like I did right there, and I found the eye in the middle and cut the eye hole, pushed it down through there, and I opened it up. And then of course I just went around the edges with a pair of scissors and cut the excess off, making sure I'm butting it right against with the white fabric, so that way your hairs will mix and it will look like an actual, group of hair instead of patchiness. Now there's going to be patchiness to it unless you're really good at measuring the fabric, or you run out of room, or you have, like me with the white, it was really scarce, so I had to use a lot of like pieces like patchwork, but it actually turned out really well, and I was really happy with it. But as you can see there, that's how they do the one eye, and all I do is show you how to do the other eye. It's just digging around in there and figuring it out. And that's pretty much the long and short of it. Alright, here we go with a little bit of laying the foam on the fur on the back after hot gluing it, and then just lapping it over. Make sure you're taking into consideration fur management, because you don't want to be wasting a lot of product, because if you clip a lot of small pieces, it's hard. You want to keep your fur in big pieces, that way if you ever want to use it again. So keep that in mind. Always be frugal, don't be wasteful. Now, in a minute you'll see me taking a skewer, a wooden skewer, and I'm going to be jabbing it as I'm using it to reinforce. At first I was going to reinforce it on the head, but then I realized I could cut it off at the end and leave it in there, because no one's going to see it. It's hidden under the fur, and it makes it stable so the ears won't break off. So I went that route. You can actually see me as I'm trimming it right here. I'm fixing to do it. There we go. I'm squirting the hot glue under it, making sure to reinforce it, and just taking the dowel stick and running down in there. Now after it dries and gets everything sturdy, I'll just take a pair of pliers and snap it off to the base of the ear. Real quick tip, while we're working with it, we've almost got it finished. We're doing the finishing touches, like putting some eyes in the corners, so that way you can still see the eyes, because like before we did it, here's going to be it before we start putting extra details and getting all this extra fur off. But as you can tell, when you put it on, you're not going to be able to see your eyes through it. It's going to be small holes. Your vision is going to be a little bit narrowed. Anybody who's cosplayed before in big suits like this knows that's just going to happen. But his eyes, you can't see no eyes, so you don't really feel a lot of character connection with said panda. So what we're going to do is we went to our local thrift store, and if you were a crafter or a cosplayer, this is going to be a good one for you. I hope you, if you've not already know it, that you will utilize this and tell me about it in the comments. These are just stuffed animals that kids have just grown old, and they're donated for, they're like a nickel, some of them are $1. But you'll notice this shiny coat of black and brown fur. This can be used for a panda mask. And guess what? He's missing eyes, because now we've cannibalized him. We've cut him down, and we're going to use his eyes. We didn't have to use his fur. I had the fur, but this would be great fur. What this cost me $1.50, I think. And I got eyes that normally, if you made yourself with clear resin and things, would cost you $30 for maybe 10 or 12 pair. You know, I mean, you got these for like $1.50, and you can pick what eye color you want from any kind of thing that they have to choose from at your thrift shop. They're cheap, they're reliable. This is great. And if you're wanting to take up room, if you're worried about taking up room because it is a large thing, rip it down the back, pull it out, save as much skin as you can. If you want to throw the stuffing away, do it. I use it for dummies and things. Sometimes I'll keep it in a garbage bag. but most of the time I throw it away. Then I'll just take the skin, put it in a box with a bunch of other skins. Sounds weird, sounds creepy, but it's okay because you're for crafting. You can make cool suits like fur and all kinds of stuff. You can be like Sean Bean and tell everybody that winter is coming with a big coat. So anyway, what we've got here, now we're going to get Braxton in closer. Now you see with a little bit of styrofoam and a little plastic knob I found and painted some stuff on, you can make some pretty realistic eyes. But, let me show you. They look kind of derpy. Now if this is what you're going for, then go for it. You glue those in there, because you got to glue them over here towards the edges, and they're a little bit too big, because you got to see through these holes, like that. You can do all kinds of stuff probably and make him look really derpy, but I don't want that. I want him to go kind of Asian Oriental, cool monk, panda, Mr. Pandaria style. So what I did was, like I said before, I cannibalized the eyes out of that thing, and I put it against my head, and even with a little bit of fur, width from the eyes, it still looks really good because you're going to sink them down into the eye socket. And all we do right there is make sure you've got enough cut. Like we cut back a lot. Whereas, see, you know, you get your longer stuff, we'll just do like that, but we're going to do it in here and trim down. So that way when we do start laying it, it'll go right there and it will glue perfect. In fact, I'm just going to put some on it. Now this is where you're going to burn your hands, so wear gloves. Don't do like I do. Do as I say do. You're just going to push it in there and hope it sticks. If so, you can cut back some of this fur if it doesn't stick to your liking. Of course, you're not going to be headbanging in this or something. I don't know. I mean, so it should be pretty good. Now the key is symmetry. You want to make sure that this eye is looking about the same direction and is about in the same place, and I think right there is beautiful. And you know, if derpy is what you're going for, do it. Because I actually had some teeth here. And you know, they look realistic. If you had better teeth, I'm just going to put some nice little cutesy anime, you know, teeth type little cutie actual panda teeth, but that would be hilarious. It would look a little bit more scary though. Before we start adding details, as you can tell, I kind of lied because before I realized we hadn't put the back on, because we got to have a little hairy cowl, as you can tell here, like attached to this so it finishes the mask, because you could finish a hole like a foam or do it over a motorcycle helmet or something like that to make it a real big full head. But I'm going to cut the middleman out because we're trying to save you some loot and we want you to have a good time at Halloween with less work. So what you're going to do, whoop, is you're going to take it now. It's already like the buttocks, the hind quarter of the gorilla that we just showed you worked perfectly to do a little head thing. This is pretty cool. So what we're going to do, we had this, but we didn't want to cut it up and cannibalize it. So it's beautiful. We got a good piece of fur left. So the back is, you know, going to still be awesome. You're going to put it over your shoulder. You're going to glue. You're going to put a lot of glue here. Now we're going to start adding details. All we're going to do, like I said, you can take a Sharpie marker and you can add like little lines against it. You can kind of dye your black. Like you can get some different colors if you wanted. If you wanted to make him battle hardened or something, you could put like a, you know, red mark here, or split the hairs and run a bead of like hot glue. I even think they make pink hot glue, hot pink hot glue, which is crazy, and that would probably make a good scarf. I will take like a pink right here. And I'm going to get up in his mouth and paint that stuff that we did not paint to make gums. You can even go and paint so much as a tongue, which this will. Make sure not to get it on the fur. Like I said, we could glue them, but we don't want to scare little kids and keep you awake at night when you look over at your counter and you're like, you don't want Panda Express for dinner, because that Panda show or whatever it was, Panda Express to go, like they always say, that weird creepy panda, It would look even creepier if you had those teeth in. This won't make you hungry. Made by a process of elimination, and by elimination I mean your bowels. You will eliminate, evacuate them and eliminate all your food inside of your intestines, and then you may want to get hungry, but it's not going to be because he's reminding you of Panda Express. Okay, now I had found these little things. I've made like little spikes out of plastic, but I have some things like this. You can make them out of Sculpey and bake them if you'd like. Just have little teeth. They're a little odd shaped and odd colored. I'm going to sand probably them down where I'm getting them smooth, and we're just going to glue them up in here. Actually, we could probably just glue them up in here. Let me just see. Drop a little bead. Don't take much. Push up in there where you want them and place it. You're going to have to hold it. So make sure you're not burning yourself or anyone else. I am stuck to it because I did burn myself. Don't put too much on there, because when you put it down in there, you're going to squeeze out all the juice. Make sure your teeth are in the right shape and in the right placement. Just hold it in there. Okay, now that we have everything glued in like detail-wise, then we're going to add some more details. We're going to take a wig. Halloween wig that is already available, or one you've used before and you've kept, or you know somebody who's got one. You just take it, you're going to rubber band off a tuft after you've braided it, and then rubber band it at the bottom and cut it off. Same over here. This, we're going to do one for the beard, one for the head. The bigger one is also obviously for the head, and this will be his little stash, and we're going to do some Fu Manchu mustache. So we're going to show you how to do that once we get here to the table. Let's do it. Okay, where you're going to place it, you don't want to get it all matted with other hair, so you just take it and you'll cut you out an area down almost to the bottom of the hair where it all comes together, where it's real tight. And we're just going to make us a little place where we can put our mustache, our little beard hair. See how I did that? I flayed it out at the end. Now what we're going to do is kind of give us a little area in which to operate. Kind of just take that hair and just pat it down in there and work it down. You're going to burn yourself if you don't watch out, so be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are in your Zen moment where you're relaxing, because we're finished. You can sit back now and enjoy your panda head if you've been building it with your mustache. We added a little mustache, so I thought that was appropriate, with your goatee, and of course your wonderful tuft of hair that is fashioned with a wood stake through the top, not into my head but into just the foam to kind of keep it sticking up in the air, which makes it look really good. As you can tell, the back is very nice, feels very good. It's very comfortable inside the mask. I can move my mouth real well. The holes in the eyes, you got a narrowed vision. Anybody who cosplays with big suits and things like that know that your vision will be narrowed. So keep that in mind if you want to actually walk around and not run into things a lot. You're going to have people with you helping you, so, keep that in mind as always when you cosplay. I hope that you enjoyed this build. I really did. I go into it not knowing what to expect because I don't practice. The only practice I have was if you go back and watch some of the Hellboy arm and some of the other things I've built in the past, that's the only thing. I mean, the Hellboy arm will help you a lot because I didn't touch a lot on the foam aspect of this build, whereas I've talked a lot about it on the previous build there, so there'll be a link to that at the end of the video. I hope that you will share it. I hope that you favorite it. I hope that you like it. And I hope that you comment, because that's what a panda would do. All honorable and stuff. So thank you guys for being a part of this build. I hope if it helped you, you'll tell me in the comments below and give me ideas for future builds, because I'm always looking for cool ideas. We got a few coming up, a couple coming up, and then, as we go, we just kind of figure out what we want to do. So give me some ideas. I hope that you have a wonderful zen-like day. Oh, do 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 do.